Good morning. Good morning from Melbourne, Australia. Good evening to friends in North America, and hello to anyone watching on replay. My name is Nancy Hetker, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Melbourne, Australia. And today I am continuing my series of cards that help you use up your stash of designer series paper. All of these, which have started a week ago, are on my blog. There are links to tutorials or cutting templates and measurements if I have them available. If they're not, completely obvious, these should work whether you're working with letter paper or A4 cardstock, because they are very flexible. If you're joining me today, please say hello in the comments, either live or on the replay. I will see them, and I love to know who's watching along. Before I dive in, I do want to remind everybody that we are in the last few weeks of our 2022-2023 annual catalog and our January to April mini catalog, and we are about to debut in early May this brand new catalog. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. There's the front cover, there's the back cover, and yes, all the dies to make this are in this catalog. It's very, very cool. If you're in Australia and you don't already work with a demonstrator, I would love to send you a copy of the catalog if you would like one. I will have a link to the online version, but you see so much more, and you see it so much better in the printed version. And I don't think that's just my age. I think that really is true because it's so easy to just swipe past stuff when it's online. So, yeah, I'm going to get started here. Today I am using a One Sheet Wonder template from Leanne Greff, who's an American demonstrator. I have been following her probably since I first started stamping back in 2006, 2007, and she has some great templates. And I will show you how, even though this is designed, I mean, she works in letter, but I'll show you how I've adapted it to work for A4, which is really almost no adaptation at all. And the other thing I would like to remind you is that Awash and Beauty, like some of our designer series papers are 6x6, but many of them are 12x12. But guess what? You can still do 6x6 One Sheet Wonders because you just cut down a piece of the 12x12 to 6x6, like I have there. So it makes it quite easy to do these. To do the 6x6 One Sheet Wonders, even if you have 12x12 paper, obviously. It's just going the other way you can't do. So I'm bringing in, I will put a link to her template here on the blog post, and hopefully in the comments on this on Facebook and YouTube. I seem to be remembering to do that, so that's a good thing. So the nice thing about these templates is that somebody else has figured out how to maximize what you're getting from the square of paper, and how to mat it up and put it onto card bases, so that you don't have to, you can just do the fun part of decorating it and choosing die cuts and sentiments and stuff, and not have to do what I think is the hard part, which is the math. So you start by cutting this into 2 3-inch strips, and then one of them we're going to cut off 1 inch there, and 1 inch there. I love this paper trimmer. Oh, you can't see because I'm working off the screen. That's no good. I love the paper trimmer because up to about 1.5 inches or almost 4 centimeters on the right side you can cut, and that makes for a nice stable cut. And then with this one, we want to cut it in half, corner to corner, and we want it to go this way. That's the one thing that I find I have to stop and think about all the time, is which way do I need my diagonal to go? Let's put this back up so you can see it on screen. And then so I don't bash the corners, I'm going to bring my cutting blade down to inside the rectangle and cut that way. Okay, so there's another one. And then on this strip, we are again going to cut 1 inch off here. And then these are 1.5 inches, which takes it right out to there. 1.5. There. 1.5. 1.5. And that's the only waste from that piece of 6x6. And I can live with that. So then she calls for 3 card bases, and I've gone ahead and I have cut all of the layers for these. So I'll just show you, because I wanted to do the fun part and not have lots of time spent cutting stuff. So I did a polished pink base and some layers of Granny Apple Green, because those are the colors that are in this paper. Mary Merlot Polished Pink, Balmy Blue, Granny Apple Green, Daffodil Delight, and Mossy Meadow would help again if I had those in the frame. Hello Gladys and Paula and Roseanne, thanks for joining me today. And I went ahead again because I didn't want to have to do a lot of this when I was on with you guys. I went ahead and put this big happy birthday from Go To Greetings in there. And now I get to see it with the paper for the first time. So she has the measurements all set for these. And so my card bases, I have done my standard card base 10.5 by 14.9 centimeters. But then I've gone ahead and used her layers in inches because they work just fine. So let me show you. And if you wanted to, you could use the other side of the paper for any of these, but she doesn't, and I don't think I'm going to today. We'll see as we go on. I love that liquid blue moment of grace to be able to, oh really, come on, align everything, mostly. There we go. Do you guys have a nice long weekend? Ours was very quiet, which is just what we needed. I think construction across the street is still on lockdown through today, which is definitely a good thing. Okay, so those are going to go on there. Although they're really down to just the last little bit over there, I can tell. They're supposed to be moving everybody in. It's the headquarters for Australia's biggest biotech firm, CSL. They make almost all of the vaccines here in Australia. And it's going to be it's their corporate headquarters and their state-of-the-art research facility, and their manufacturing facility is just up the road where everything has been, but they're expanding. So there is that. I got a little bit of glue there. Bring that in, get that off. And then I'm going to bring in, I've got a little bit of this textured shimmer paper. And it's part of the Regency Park suite, but it's carrying over to the new catalog. And it's very cool. And I'm going to cut, I've got some adhesive sheet on the back of it, and I'm going to cut a butterfly or two. And I'm just doing that off screen here. I saw your pictures on Facebook, Gladys. It looked like you all had a very fun time. So these are from the Meadow dies, and I do think they are continuing. Yeah, I'm gonna do one other that I might like better. And this one's from the designer tags. And I haven't marked my dies. I marked my stamp sets, and then I'll go through and pull out coordinating dies and see if they're retiring too. But let's see how this one goes. Yeah, I don't know what I like. Yeah, we may set that aside for a moment and come back to it. I'm gonna let that steep for a little bit. See what I like. So here is the next card. And this one uses these 1.5 inch strips. So I'm gonna get those glued on there. Oh. Apparently the glue is very slippery today, which is usually a pretty good thing, but that was just a little too much. Get the glue off my fingers. And that one. This one. There we go. And once again, we have little glue. Okay. That's gonna go on there. Yeah, she labels these as quick, and I would agree. And I think, again, this is designed for letter size, which is shorter and a little bit wider than the A4 card fronts, but I think these work just fine on the A4. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that one down. And now I'm going to set that aside and we're going to figure this out. What we want to put on there. And I pulled out a whole bunch of sentiment sets. And when in doubt, I tend to go for birthday type things because, you know, I send out lots of birthdays. I like this one too, which is wishing you every happiness this special day will bring. And sadly, this set is retiring. I also really like this wishes for a beautiful birthday, and I think that's what I'm going to go with today on this one. Now to choose which color. And here we go. Bring in my cushion because this is a photopolymer stamp. I think I'm going to do balmy blue. Yeah. Mary Merlot. There we go. You might be asking how I chose Mary Merlot, because I don't think I'm going to use it for any embellishment. And it's nice and dark and rich. There we go. I like this set because it stamps really cleanly. And that's one of the reasons I like the set. So let me bring this back in. It's going to go on there. See, and there's that color, there's that color. Now on Leanne's, she also does some stamping around with some coordinating stuff. So I might do that as well. Let's see, I'm gonna try to not get too carried away because enough is enough and too much is too much. Okay, let's see here. So, like I said, I'm just doing a little bit here. I think I'm going to stop there. In some ways, it's not going to stand out against that DSP in the back. Let's take a look here. Bring that in. It's going to kind of blend in, but that's okay. I'm going to pop it up after I clean off these stamps, because otherwise something is going to fall and get messed up. That's just how it is. The other thing I'm going to try out before I go much further, I've got some of this rose gold and white ribbon. This is why I pre-cut the boring parts, because I want to be able to play on camera with you guys. I thought about using this polished pink, but there's just a lot of polished pink going on. This just sort of gives some sheen and something a little different maybe. And yet, same colors. Yeah, I thought that was going a little short, so maybe we'll just do it as a knot. Never seem to get them the same. Okay, let's do some dimensionals. There we go. I love sticky tape. It's just easy, no nonsense, gets the job done. There we go. And number 3, I went ahead, and this is the same strip. She says do 2 inches, and she says 5.5 because that would be the letter size card base. I just did 2 inches, and then I cut it at 14.9 to fit the 14.9 centimeters to fit my A4 card. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere that. I went ahead, she said that it could be textured or not. I thought texture was a great idea. This is one of the new Basics 3D embossing folders that's available in the online exclusives. I think it's going to be one of my go-to basic, well, it's called Basics, right? But I think it's going to be one of my go-tos. And then these 3, remember the 1-inch ones that we cut right at the beginning? There we go. We'll glue those on. Yeah, I tend to like to do the 2 end ones because you can get an even margin all the way around and then center the other one in between. And I did a pretty good job, even though I did the middle one first. Okay. So that's going to go on there. You know, and you think you're going just way too dark sometimes when you're doing this. Like those 3 pieces, they just look way too dark. But then you put the bright Designer Series paper on there and it's great. I'm gonna go ahead and glue that one down. And then I haven't figured out my label piece yet. I was thinking this one or this one. I love this one. Miles apart, but still in my heart. I loved it when it was just that I was all the way over here on the other side of the world from most people I knew. And then COVID hit, and I really liked it because I was miles apart from everybody. And I'm gonna go with Mary Merlot again. It still speaks to me today, so there we go. I will take care of that over here. I have been spending the last couple weeks mostly preparing for my stamp camp that's coming up this weekend, which I am very excited about. Yeah. And I think starting next week, I will start showing you some of the projects that we will be doing. I have been doing, they will do this weekend. And what, I'm still coming back to this one, still thinking on that, but I think I'm gonna put in some of these opal rounds. No, I don't quite like that. Okay. So you may have noticed I just laid them down there, and it means I can still pick them up because I really haven't put pressure on the glue dot that's there. I like that better. Okay, there we go. Here's that one. And this one I haven't finished up yet. Still thinking. What do you think? I think it's not worth this much thought. That's what I'm thinking at the moment. Like the lacy butterfly on top Just trying to decide if I want it totally in line with the sentiment, if I want it to go across. Don't want it to be totally in line with the layers. I'm gonna do it cattywampus. There we go. And what am I gonna put on there? I'm gonna put these little iridescent pearls. There we go. So that, or shall I say those, are my projects for today. 1, 2, and 3. I hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, that's going to be fine without any dots on it. And I will be back. Same time, same place next week. Hopefully by next week I'll have some new product to show you. My pre-order that I placed, last Tuesday is still sitting in picking, but that's okay. And yeah, hopefully by next week it'll be here. And if not, I'll show it to you whenever I get it. But I will be back regardless. Same time, same place next week. Thanks for joining me today, and I hope to see you then. Bye-bye for now.